Well, good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, we're talking about bucks and buck scrapes and buck activity during the rut and territorial scrapes and things like that. And a new product that I picked up, it's not actually a really new product, but it's a new product for me that I picked up, is called the Vine from ScrapeFix. So one of the things that we'll notice, or that I've noticed, is that mock scrapes, I haven't had a lot of success with mock scrapes. Hunting scrape lines and finding buck scrapes are keys to knowing buck activity. One of the difficulties is the lick branch. So every time that you see a buck scrape, whether it's territorial, whether it's dominance or whatever it is, you'll notice that there's a branch, like somewhere about deer head height high, a little bit higher, that they will rub, and they rub their ocular glands on them, and they rub their nose on them, and they lick them, and they're called a lick branch. One of the things that happens over the course of the season is that they'll break off. So lots of times there'll be enough different buck activity that they'll break, and then they'll abandon that scrape. And the ones that are hanging vertical, so hanging almost straight down, they tend to be a lot more, they tend to get a lot more action, a lot more activity. So those typically are branches that are already cracked or broken and they're hanging straight down. So introduce the Vine. This is a device. This is a thing that's supposed to make the perfect mock scrape. Okay, so it's basically a 5-foot piece of stuff that will mimic the perfect sort of lick branch for a buck or for bucks. Now this is already out of the box. I love it. Okay, so it's got all kinds of little tentacle type deals, and you open it up. It's really, really solid. Okay, and it's actually even got some. It's almost like textured almost, so it's almost got like a furry almost feel to it on the solid part. That'll absorb the spray that we're going to use. And then this end of it obviously just goes up, and you wrap this around, something. So I think we're going to get this baby out in the woods and try it out. But this is what we're going to take a look at today. This is called the Vine from ScrapeFix. You can go ahead and check out the link in the description, and it'll show you where I got this and how to get your own if you want it and all of those things. Also, along with the Vine I purchased, this is the ScrapeFix powder. So this is designed, this is a proven whitetail attractant. So it says 100% synthetic, and you apply it to the vine and you apply it to your mock scrape. So stay tuned. We're going to get out in the woods, and we're going to try out and check out the ScrapeFix, the Vine, as well as the ScrapeFix, the powder, and that'll be awesome. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the MB Wildman channel, we sure would appreciate it. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like the content that we put up, go ahead and hit that bell. You'll get notified when we upload new stuff. All right, folks. Well, we're back here in a little area, a little spot that I've got selected for my mock scrape on a little bit of an old roadway. There is a pretty significant deer trail coming right out of there, as you can see. Way over 300-400 yards. You've got an agricultural field. I think it's soybean in there this year. So there is a fair amount of travel. And then straight back that way, a couple hundred yards, you've got an old woods road that goes way back to some old cuts. So what I've got going on here is I've got my mock scrape, I've got my Vine, and I'm going to tie it right up here, just up here on this overhang. And as you can see, there's nothing really here, nothing good to use. So I'm going to make something good to use. I'm going to drop it right down here, have my mock scrape right in there. So there's already a pretty good trail here. What I want to see is, I want to see if any bucks or does stop to use this mock scrape. Now, as most of you know, if you've been following the MB Wildman channel, I'm in New Brunswick, Canada, and our deer population is like this big compared to a lot of spots. I don't have a heavy concentration of deer in the area. Anywhere that we hunt, there's not a lot of deer. So it may take, some time for some deer to wander by here. It's not like a lot of the states where there's, tons and tons of deer. But we're going to give it a try. We're going to see how it works out. The number of deer that stop here is not my concern. What I want to know is, as a deer comes by, buck or doe, will they stop and check this out? Is this something you could maybe hunt over or use to establish like a population in your area? So anyway, we're going to give it a try. Okay, so installation is just that easy. All I did, of course, was just wrap it around that little stick here. So I've got it wrapped and secured really well at the top, right here, secured with 2 or 3 twists. And then I got it hung down just like this. And again, the bottom part of this is just about waist height for me. So that's a little bit where you want it, just waist high or a little tiny bit higher. And then right at the base, right straight underneath this, if I can set the camera down here, right straight underneath this, I'm gonna make myself a scrape. There we go. Now, our next step here is our ScrapeFix. Again, they recommend that these two be used together, so I did buy this as well as the vine at the same time. And the instructions say a few, maybe like 2 or 3 little sprays on the scrape, and then 2 or 3 little sprays up on the vine. So that's what we'll do. We'll start out, just put a little bit up here on the vine. All right, so there we go. Quick and easy. You've got your mock scrape done, you've got your vine hanging, and hopefully it's at about the right height. Again, I typically would have hung this a little bit higher, but the instructions, everything I've read about the vine says to hang it at about waist height, so waist height it is. All right, I'm gonna hang my Tacticam right over there. And then hopefully within a very small amount of time, I'm going to be able to show you some pictures of something using or ignoring this vine. Okay, so I left the camera out for about 10 days. I first set it and I had it set on picture mode, so I only had a couple of photos, and then I went back in and set it to video mode. I got a few videos here, and what you'll see is that I've got 3 or 4 different bucks that came through, as well as 3 or 4 times when there were does come through. And what I can see from these videos, oh, there's a good one. What I can see from these videos is that basically about half of the deer that traveled through the area actually paid attention to the mock scrape and the vine. I think 3 in total bucks actually nosed it, and 1 doe. 1 buck actually stopped and urinated in the scrape, but there you go. There's a good example there of a buck licking it when he comes by and just rubbing his. Now, granted, it's pre-rut. These videos are taken the 1st of October, so that the deer really aren't in the rut here. But I just wanted to see how it worked. There was a fair bit more activity at this spot than I had thought, which was good. Another thing is that in this particular bunch of videos, you'll see that black bears, were pretty curious about it as well. So a couple, 3 different times I had nice bears come in. There's one there. Had nice bears come in and sniff around. Now there's one there. Okay, so that nice buck just walked right through the back, never even glanced at it. There's another bigger buck right behind him. Again, they didn't pay any attention, and those deer would have walked within, been within 15 yards of that scrape. So anyway, I'll let you finish watching the action here, but there's about, like I say, about 50% of the deer that came through actually went ahead and used this. I reset everything, and so we'll get another follow-up video in another 10 or 15 days. Maybe once the rut hits a little harder, we'll see. So anyway, listen, I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's what we had.